Hello and welcome to Coach Talk. This is the MLB show where we are going to give you our best plays and fades. And we're also going to build you a two brains are better than one FANDUEL GPP lineup. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Josh, how are you on this wonderful October 1st? And it's a TGIF on top of it.
Yeah. Good morning, Coach. Yeah, doing good. It's going to be another fun Friday. I mean, we've had a lot of these big Friday baseball slates and had a lot of fun with them. So definitely looking forward to having another big Friday night tonight. So,
yeah, how about we get a takedown with this GPP on FanDuel? That would be really great. Have all the listeners share in on a nice big win.
Sounds good to me, Coach.
All right. Well, let's dive into this sucker and get it rolling. We know everybody's got a busy Friday. First of all, let's start off with your go-to pitcher on the entire slate. And we got an awesome 14-game main slate, by the way. So a nice, juicy one. Who's your go-to pitcher, Josh?
So for me, I'm going to be looking at Lance Lynn tonight. 10,000 on FanDuel. He's 9,500 on Draftkings. He's coming off actually one of his worst starts this year against Cleveland, but I think he's in a good spot for a bounce back. Probably with lower ownership than he would normally see, against a bad Detroit team that has struck out the fourth most in baseball. And he's faced them two other times this year. He had 52 and 43 FanDuel points and allowed one run in each game. So it's a good spot for Lynn to bounce back, and I think that he will tonight. So,
good call. All right. For me, it's Ranger Suarez. I love his price. I love his matchup. I love where he's pitching. He's in Miami.
Yeah,
definitely a pitcher's park against a team that strikes out a bunch, and he makes things work money-wise because he's only 8,800 on DraftKings, 9,000 on FanDuel. He is expensive on Yahoo. One of those weird things. He's actually the most expensive pitcher on Yahoo, which is bizarre.
Wow.
But he's, for some reason, $49 on there. So I love Ranger Suarez on both DraftKings and FanDuel. Yahoo, maybe you got to think about it. But at that price, he will be very low owned on Yahoo. So just like the matchup against Miami, they have so many young hitters. Yes, some of them are progressing, but there's a lot of strikeouts in that lineup.
Yeah. And Suarez has been solid this year. He really has. And like you said, it's a good park for pitchers. So it's a good pick there.
Thank you. All right, let's go to our three hitters that are the must-haves on this 28-team slate. So we have a lot of guys to pick from. Who is your first go-to hitting player?
My first hitter is going to be Marcus Simeon from the Toronto Blue Jays. He's 4,000 on FanDuel. He's 5,400 on DraftKings. He's hitting 278 against right-handed pitchers with 34 of his 44 home runs this year against right-handed pitchers. And, Toronto's in a win now mode. I mean, they're a game behind both Boston and Seattle now. And I feel like this is a great spot for Toronto. And Simeon's just been really good all year. So I'm going to go back to him tonight.
And I like that pick. I've probably rostered him just about as much as anybody this season. Yeah. He's been so tough, so consistent, real gamer. Plus, he's a free agent at the end of this season. So, box cars for him for sure. All right, my first hitter is Hunter Renfrow from Boston. Same scenario. He's facing a pitcher that he can hit. I think he goes deep. I like the call on his homer potential tonight, and he's fairly priced. DraftKings is the highest. He's 5,000, but I still can stomach that. He's only 3,600 on FanDuel and only 21 on Yahoo. And I just think against this pitcher, the lefty righty matchup, I think he's going to go deep tonight. I really like him in this matchup.
Who's he up against tonight?
Renfrow? He is up against, I'll look real quickly here because I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but it's somebody that I like to pick on. How about if I told you he's going up against, why did I forget that off the top of my head? Oh, it's against Rogers the lefty.
Yeah. That should be a good.
And we picked on him last time and it paid off. So hopefully that he follows that up again. So
yeah.
All right. What about your second hitter?
My second hitter is actually going to be another Toronto Blue Jay. It's going to be George Springer, 3,800 on FanDuel, 4,900 on DraftKings. He has just under 20 DraftKings points in the last 3 of his last 4 games, and he has 16 of his 19 home runs against right-handed pitchers. And kind of like Marcus Simeon, he should be in a good bounce-back spot tonight. Toronto, just like I said, they have to win, and he's been on a little bit of a hot streak lately. So I like George Springer. So
I like it. And if you remember, he was I think on Tuesday, he was one of my go-to guys for batting. And he actually hadn't been hitting that week prior, but man, has he done it this week, as you just pointed out. So I rode him every day since Tuesday, except for one, which I should have because he homered. But I love that play. He's such a clutch player. And I think that's a great call. For me, I'm going to go home run hunting again. Just a guy in a good matchup here in a park I think he can hit it out of. And that's big power man Fran Reyes. His price is a little high on DK at 5,100. It's respectable. But on FanDuel, he's a bargain at 3,400. And on Yahoo, same thing at only 18. And I just like, his potential to homer and the position that he's in against this pitcher in this game. So we're going to go for it. I'm going to try to get home runs from all 3 of my guys today. That's what I'm looking for.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Who's your number 3 go-to guy, Crash?
For my third hitter, it's going to be Gavin Sheets from the Chicago White Sox. He's 2,700 on FanDuel, 3,400 on DraftKings. He's been solid against, right-handed pitchers all year. Actually, all of his home runs have come against right-handed pitchers. So probably not going to break the slate, but, it's a good matchup for him, and it's going to help save salary for a winning lineup. So I'm going to go with Gavin Sheets.
Good pick. It's amazing how many guys, like I have Gavin Sheets' dad, Larry Sheets' baseball card back from the day. He was, I don't know if you even know that he played for the Phillies, but yeah, it's amazing how many second generation guys are in the league now. It's outlandish. But no, I like the pick. I really do. I think he can hit. I think he's going to play a role for them in the playoffs too. For me, it's go to my standby. He's been my go-to guy the last couple of weeks. And I can never get away from him because he's such a triple threat, and that's Trey Turner. Another good spot against a pitcher he can hit. You got to pay for him a little bit for sure. 5,600 on DraftKings, 43 on FanDuel, but just $20 on Yahoo, which is very fair. I just, I love going to that late game with Trey Turner in my back pocket because you got a great chance to homer, got a great chance to get a steal a bag or two. He's going to knock in a run or score a run. I mean, he's just a good, safe play, and I want him part of the lineup. And with the savings on Suarez, I'll be able to get a guy like Trey Turner in that lineup.
Yeah, I think his ownership might be just a little bit down too, because out of all the Dodgers the last 2 nights, he's had, more of a down performance out of the main guys that have been hitting the home runs and everything. So should be a good low on play.
Yeah, I mean, if people are going to stack the Dodgers, he'll ultimately be part of that stack. But you're right. If they're going with 1 or 2 off, he may, slide down a little bit on that ownership scale, which would be great.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll start off the fades because you're going to get a big chuckle out of this. I don't understand how this can happen. This has happened 3 times in a row with one of us having one or the other guys. But, we have 28 starting pitchers tonight, and my fade pitcher happens to be your go-to pitcher. Can you believe that?
No.
Here's my reasoning behind it. I followed Lance Lynn fairly closely, in his stint with the Rangers. And yes, he's an innings eater. You got to really give the guy, take your head off to the guy, because he goes out there and he's going to throw a ton of innings for you, 200 plus every season, and just he's a bulldog. The only problem is I've watched him the last couple of years just sort of get a little bit spent towards the end of the year because of all the innings. I mean, it's got to catch up to you at some point. And I watched him. I rostered him last game knowing that I was a little wary of that. And he just got lambasted. Everything was a line drive. It wasn't like they hit him cheaply. They just really smacked him. So my concern was, I think he'll have decent ownership because it's sort of a wonky pitching slate.
Yeah.
And he's expensive. So I get your reasoning because, he could put out one of his grinded out 7-inning, 8-inning games where he gets it done, gives up a couple of runs, but gets it done. But I'm just going to go on the fact that ownership wise and everything else at his price, which is $9,500 on DraftKings, a stinging $10K on FanDuel, and 40 big ones on Yahoo. I'm not like running to the, betting window to say he's going to get creamed again today. But I do think, end of the season, tons of innings that he might be running out of gas a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. I could see that. His numbers, the last couple of games kind of back that up too. So
we'll see. I mean, if anybody can do it, he can. He's a fighter.
Yeah. So for me, my fade is going to be Clayton Kershaw, 10,400 on FanDuel, 10,000 on DraftKings. The Dodgers are in that fight with the Giants for the division, but he's kind of been struggling lately too. He's pitched 5 innings or less in his last 4 starts with 74 pitches or less in those starts. And he's just not going to hit value getting, 4 to 5 innings of pitching in. That's just not going to do it at 10K. So that was my reasoning. It's nothing to do with them playing the Brewers actually. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. I think at that price for how deep he'll go in that game, 4 or 5 innings, I'm with you 100%. I think he's a great fade. My hitter is going to be a guy that I played a lot this year, but I'm just really down on him. He has stung me multiple times over the last 2 weeks. I'll give you a few stats on him real quickly here, just one actually, but it's worth note. You'd never believe it, but this guy has not scored double-digit fantasy points, which is pretty darn easy to do, in his last 11 games. So we're talking a guy that bats cleanup every day with a team that's in a pennant race, and he has not gotten above 9 fantasy points in almost 2 weeks. And believe it or not, that's Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, wow.
And I know it. I realized how I realized that is I've played him multiple times and he's just killed me. Yeah. And so I'm going to flip the switch. So he'll probably go 4 for 5, 2 homers. But the bottom line is, a guy going that bad's just not seeing the ball well or feeling the pressure. Something's going on there. But listen to the pricing: $5,600 on DraftKings, $3,700 more reasonable on FanDuel, and a fair 17 on Yahoo. But he'll get ownership again. People are going to stack the living daylights out of Boston like they've been doing all week. Not that it's paid off, but any stacks are going to include Bogaerts because he's sitting in that 4 hole for them. But again, if you look at his last week and a half, it's been pretty atrocious.
Yeah. I like that fade, especially for the reasons that you gave. So for me, it's going to be Carlos Correa from the Houston Astros. He's 3,700 on FanDuel, 5,100 on DraftKings. He has 37 plate appearances against Sean Manaea, and he's only hitting 189 against him with no home runs and 12 strikeouts. So he's actually hitting 291 against left-handed pitchers, but of his 24 home runs, only 4 of them were against left-handed pitchers. So that's another reason that I'm going to look at fading Carlos Correa, even though you think of him as kind of a lefty smasher. But
that's a great point. Good stat too. All right, excellent. All right, before we jump into this 2 brains are better than 1 lineup. All right, well, let's review just to make sure everybody has this down. We'll both go through in case they're just jumping on. My go-to pitcher is Ranger Suarez. My hitters are Hunter Renfrow, Fran Reyes, and Trey Turner. And my 2 fades are Lance Lynn and Xander Bogaerts. How about you?
For me, my pitcher is going to be Lance Lynn. My first hitter is Marcus Simeon. My second hitter is George Springer. My third is Gavin Sheets. And then my fade pitcher is Clayton Kershaw. And my fade hitter is Carlos Correa.
Excellent. All right. Let's see how those go. We've been hot still. Whatever we're batting on our fades has been fantastic. So let's keep that. Well, actually, for pitching, it's going to be vice versa for one of us here. One of us is going to be happy. One of us is going to be sad, probably. But take it for what it's worth, listeners out there, and go with your gut. But before we jump into this, building this two brains GPP lineup for FanDuel, big announcement here at Coach Talk, and this is the first time it's being announced. We have our NBA packages up online. Go to dfscoachtalk.com. We have a tremendous offer for the first half of NBA, which is a 4-month period of time, or we have the full season that goes all the way to Game 7 of the playoffs in the NBA, and that's 8 months. It runs from September 16th all the way to June 16th. So some great prices there. We crush it in golf, in baseball and football, but let's face it, as you can see Dirk behind me and Kobe and Michael and everything else, we really are founded number one on NBA. I mean, that's what Andrew and I did podcasts for years, and this is our game. So this is the perfect time to join. And the great part about joining here is you don't just get the sport you sign up for. And that's the difference between us and a lot of providers. You get everything that we've got when you become a member. And the special deal that we have right now, if you sign up online at dfscoachtalk.com, you get, from the day you sign up, let's say you hear this podcast this morning and you sign up for our NBA package, from October 1st to October 16th, so 2.5 weeks, you get everything that we have here at Coach Talk free. So you get 16 days of all of our football coverage, all of our baseball coverage, all of our PGA coverage. And then your time frame on your membership starts on October 16th at the start of the NBA. So it's you can't miss it. I mean, the sooner you take advantage of it, the better, because you get more free days. We're going to offer the same pricing for the NBA packages on October 16th when the season starts that we're offering now. So why not get 16 days of everything we've got here for free? So we'd love to have you. Great time to join. If you have any questions about our memberships or NBA, you can check us out on Twitter. I'm at Joe Sarvadi, JoeSarvadi, and Josh is at Crash 1982.
No, at JP Davis 1982.
Oh, JP Davis at 1982. Gotcha. One of these days I'll get it right, or else you'll just start a new one with Crash.
Yeah.
So we'd love to have you join us for that. Certainly, take a look. And also, right here, if you're watching on YouTube, first of all, if you're watching on YouTube, you should have already, please hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, hit the little alarm in the upper corner there. That alerts you when any of our podcasts post. We have podcasts for all three posting now: PGA, NBA, MLB, and NFL. So you want to take advantage of knowing when those post. We do our podcasts in front of the paywall, but for members that sign up, a lot of our really grit and blood and guts is done in Discord. We talk things through. We're posting a lot of statistical information, especially with our new PFF partnership this year. Pro Football Focus has given us all kinds of new ways to look at all of the different angles of ownership and projections, etc. So you want to join for that, and that's also where we'll break down and post lineups. And we give coaches clipboard and a core play for DraftKings. We give full lineups for FanDuel and Yahoo. So we would love to have you. Go to dfscoachtalk.com and you can sign up for our NBA package and get these 2.5 weeks scot-free. All right. How about we build a lineup here, buddy?
Let's do it.
It's your turn to start. So the pressure's on for pitcher, and I'm okay with whatever way you want to go, except Lance Lynn. Because Lance is expensive anyway. So
right. No, he is.
If you're really torn, I can just take Ranger Suarez for 9,000 if you want.
I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Sandy Alcantara.
Okay, Sandy's a stud, man. He's a stud. I like that price, 9,300. Philly's sort of gone in the tank. Hoskins out for the rest of the year. I like it. I like Sandy Alcantara.
The Braves clinched the East last night, so they've probably broken the hearts of the Phillies a little bit. So
yeah, they may sit some guys too.
Yeah.
So I love that Sandy pick for sure. I think that's a class pick, my friend. All right, I'm gonna go with one of my boppers here, and I want to plug in Franmil Reyes.
Okay.
He's only 36, which I think is very fair. Oh, did I go out of position, didn't I?
Yeah, we're looking at catcher first base.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. You know, one of my picks coming up then. Yeah. I mean, I'm tempted to go. I just don't know if we can afford it all the way down, but man, Vlad seems like a juicy pick today, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's due. Can we afford it if I take him at 43?
Yeah, we can figure it out. We can figure
it out. All right, let's go with Vladdy because he's so due to go deep, and he's been stinging the ball. He's had some good line drive hits. I think he lifts one out of there today.
All right, so I'm going to have to get some value here, which is fine.
I'll find some value too. Don't let it throw you into who you like. So we'll find value. In fact, I have a decent value play coming up. You there?
I'll go with my guy Urias.
He's your automatic. That's your boy right there,
he's
man.
Getting lefties, and he's been pretty good all year actually. So,
all right, I like it. He's got pop too. So let me fill him in here. Okay, let's see. What's his price?
26.
Yeah, for some reason they never seem to move his price.
No, I know. It doesn't make sense.
And he gets a lot of at bats. All right. It's a weird one, but I wanted to get your opinion on it before I push the button on it. It's an odd pick, but since Brandon Belt broke his thumb, Wilmer Flores has been playing and hitting in decent spots with that lineup. I just think he's a sneaky, low-owned, late-night play at 3,000. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah. I've been playing him lately myself, so.
Okay, good.
I'd like to go to Simeon here, but see what that puts us at salary-wise if I do.
That's okay. We can do it.
We can figure that out.
If you put him in, and then if I go with my guy Reyes, let me see where that puts us. That would leave us. Yeah, we can do it. That'd leave us 2,800 average for the two outfielders in utility. No problem.
Yeah.
So you're good for your next outfielder.
Okay.
We're going to get a little skinny here at the end, but we got some boppers in there with Vladdy and Franmil and Simeon.
I think I'm going to go with, let me see.
got a couple guys I think that fit.
I like Chad Pinder against lefties.
Don't blow a brain vessel. Chad Pinder?
Yeah, Chad Pinder. Yep.
How much is he?
21.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I want to go with Mark Canha, 2,800.
Okay.
I like the price. I like the matchup. I like the spot. So that gives you, let's see what that gives you for the utility spot. You should be in pretty good shape. Oh, man, you're set, dude. 3,500's a ton.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a silver slugger with that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What are you looking at? What's it between? I don't want to sway one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm just looking over who's available at that price.
You got a lot. You got a lot of choices.
I'm actually going to just trust my gut here and go to who I was going to go to, even though it's going to leave us with about 800. And if you want to move somebody, you can.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Gavin Sheets.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick look at possibly moving up on Flores. Let me just look to see between 3,000 and 3,800 if we can get somebody that hits a lot. Let's see here. So I need to get, he has to be a third baseman. Is that correct? Or can we move people?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, there's definitely some plays there, especially around 37.
Okay. And it gives us how much left? 3,800?
Yeah.
Don't know if the Braves are going to play everybody.
No, I was more looking at the one right above him.
How about Chris Bryant?
Okay.
You okay with Chris Bryant?
Another giant, but yeah.
I like it. I like it. Let's go Chris Bryant.
Yep, now that he's not in Chicago, I'm good with him.
All right, so our whole squad looks like, let's see. So we used, go ahead. You can read off our team if you like.
Okay. What just happened? Okay. Sandy Alcantara, Vladimir Guerrero, Luis Urias, Chris Bryant, Marcus Simeon, Fran Reyes, Chad Pinder, Mark Canha, and Gavin Sheets.
Very nice, man. I love that lineup. I really think that's very solid. Yeah, a lot of home run potential, solid starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to dig deep really on anybody. So
yeah,
I love it, man. I think we got a great shot to get in the money. So I hope everybody out there plays it, and we'll split some cash amongst our listeners for sure. But very good, very good. We've got again, huge week here at Coach Talk. This weekend's going to be a blast with Major League Baseball final weekend, and then we start with the playoffs. So we'll have some great cards on Saturday and Sunday, full cards. And then, obviously PGA, which we started off unbelievably yesterday. Our one lineup is in 14th out of over 2,000 people. All our guys are under par, so we got a great chance to make the cut. So we'll be putting out, Andrew and I'll put out lineups tonight for weekend only for the Sanderson Farms and Golf. And then obviously the NFL guys, Josh Omaha Joe, which I still not sure. What's the Omaha for? Do we know what that stands for?
It might be because the only thing I can think of is if it's because of Peyton Manning. You know, he had Omaha, his little cadence that he used to call out.
Omaha, got it.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then you. So the three of you guys will be doing NFL. So, I mean, we got everything covered. And then, like I say, this opportunity to jump aboard and get 16 full free days of Coach Talk. It's going to be the only time that we have this kind of offer all year. And we're just doing it in honor of our NBA start of this season. So very excited about that. You can join us at dfscoachtalk.com. If you have any questions, again, check us out on Twitter or YouTube. On Twitter, we're also all at DFS Coach Talk. So we appreciate you. Any final words for our baseball guys, Mr. Crash?
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, it's going to be our last weekend of the regular season. So next time we get on the podcast, we're going to be talking about the playoffs. So that's really exciting for sure.
Definitely. No question about it, except for when the Brewers play, of course.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Have an awesome Friday. Have an awesome weekend. We'll be back with shows, podcasts every day, the next, for however long. I mean, we got all the sports going. So make sure you check those out. As far as baseball goes, Crash and I will be back on Tuesday to put together some plays and fades for the playoffs. So looking forward to it. We appreciate everybody listening in, and we'll certainly be looking to crush it next time we get together in DFS.